So how was the morning for you, Bryce?
Good, good. Actually was recording a sort of late night session last night, so little tired out, but feeling great.
No, was there any trouble at all getting up so early?
Nah, no problem at all.
What time?
It's actually not too early for me, so.
What time do you normally get up, or what time did you go to sleep last night?
Well, actually, other than voice acting, I teach Muay Thai and boxing and MMA. So
Mm.
I work with a client early in the morning, and when I say early, I mean 5 a.m. So sometimes I get up and train him, um, and then it's on with my day. So
So that's just
used to
one of.
getting up nice and early.
Oh, I see. So that's one of your students.
Yes, yes.
Glasses. I don't like this. Actually, I do. So what time did you go to bed last night?
It wasn't too late. I think I got to sleep before midnight,
Okay.
so it wasn't too bad.
So you got plenty of sleep. Just
Yeah,
probably a little bit tired out, huh?
yeah. Yesterday was a marathon. Had three different recording sessions, which
Wow.
absolutely ecstatic about. It's becoming more and more like that. So gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. It's been my busiest year yet. Yeah, let's do it. Well, actually, one of the first games I ever played was Final Fantasy One. So I was probably about 5 or 6 years old and fell in love with Final Fantasy. Um, I played Final Fantasy 3. I played Final Fantasy 7. I actually never played Final Fantasy 9 though. Um, but I was ecstatic to be part of that franchise. I'm a huge fan myself, and when I found out what I was working on and what I got to be part of, I was just stoked. It was like a dream come true. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it's on my list of games I need to pick up. Um, Things have just been crazy, so I haven't been gaming as much as I'd like to. I guess it's a good problem to have, though.
Hey, Xander.
Yeah, I fixed it. I saw what they were saying.
Okay, good.
Okay, headphones in. Sorry about that, guys. Little glitch.
For for a moment there,
Apparently, I
folks.
had my stream muted, but he heard you guys, just not me.
Can everyone hear us now? I think they were able to hear Bryce just fine, just not us.
They just had no idea what I was talking about.
The
Oh
question was, have you played many of the Final Fantasy games? And if you heard him just randomly talking, that was his
That was
answer.
my answer.
All right.
So, which one was your favorite Final Fantasy?
I mean, I think seven is like the classic Final Fantasy for me. Like, I have a lot of good memories playing it. Um, but I know three just like awesome too. Like I fell in love with Final Fantasy 3.
And so, were you contacted for the role of Zidane specifically, or were you contacted to audition for a role in the city? How did you get to be Zidane?
Yeah, through an audition. I think what had happened is someone caught a sample of another character I'd played, and I'm not sure which one. But when they heard it, they could picture my voice as Zidane.
Oh, okay.
Um, and I auditioned, and they loved me, and I got chosen to play the role.
Well, well, when you since you've played the Final Fantasy games in the past, since Final Fantasy 1, have you actually ever just while playing along voiced the characters?
you know, as I was playing those games, I never imagined that I would actually get to be part of the franchise. Um, Maybe if I pick up Final Fantasy 9, I'll start saying some lines and start voice acting while playing the game. That would be pretty interesting. Um,
Uh,
but it's always kind of a cool experience to hear yourself and be able to control yourself. I've played Tales of Grace's F, and I'm Asbelant,
right.
and I mean I'm all over that game. It's so cool to be able to control yourself and hear yourself in the game, and it just kind of brings you back to when you were recording and the good times that I had while recording. So it's a fun experience. It's really really cool.
Um, Actually, we have a question from West, one of our regulars here. He was asking, what is it like voicing Zidane, and what are your opinions on his character?
So Zidane is an awesome character. Um, it was a lot of fun voicing him. It's so cool that he's kind of a womanizer. It's nice to be able to play those roles and just sort of have those cheesy pickup lines on ladies. Um, I mean, the experience was a dream come true. It was so much fun. I mean, you always hope to be able to play these kind of roles, and I mean, it's just amazing that I was able to.
Awesome.
I'm sure you probably already answered this question, but who is your favorite character or characters in the Final Fantasy series?
Um, well, I mean, I love Zidane now because I'm him. Um, but Cloud, I like Cloud.
Nice.
Yeah,
Most people's favorites.
I think so. Yeah, can't go wrong with Cloud.
Okay, was there any other character in the Final Fantasy series you would like to have voiced, or you believe you would have been a good voice for?
Um, I'm not sure. Um, I think that where the character that I got matched up with was the right fit. Um, I mean, there's a lot of traits that Zidane has, his sort of quirkiness and his energy that matches really well with me. Um, I'm I don't know if I'd be able to pull off some other characters, but I have to look into that and see what my second choice would be.
Well, Final
Um,
Fantasy 15 is coming up. You should definitely look at voicing one of their roles.
yeah.
You never know. I mean, I audition, I do the best I can for things, and I cross my fingers. You never know. Sometimes you don't even know what game you're auditioning for. So I might have read for it. I might never read for it. I have no idea. Um, but I kind of have the mentality when an audition comes in, I do the absolute best I can. I put everything into it, and then I just let it go. Because most auditions I'm not going to get. I'm not going to get cast. So I put everything into it, and then I sort of forget about it. And when I book something, I feel like it's right. You know, it's sort of meant to be, and there's a reason I'm playing that role. Other people can see me in that role, and it'll work out. You know, it makes the performance better when the fits are right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Actually, I have a quick question. You mentioned that Cloud's your favorite. A lot of people seem to think that have a differing opinion on his personality change between Seven and Advent Children. What do you think on that?
Yeah, I didn't see Advent Children.
Oh, you didn't see Advent Children. Okay.
Uh-uh. I gotta check that out. That's like, it's not an anime, it's like CGI, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, I think Square has always kind of been a benchmark for CGI movies. They started with Spirits Within and showed what they could do, and it just kind of followed after that.
Okay.
Yeah, that stuff is awesome. I really gotta see that.
Next question. Was there anyone part of the Dissidia cast that you had previously worked with, or was there anyone part of the Dissidia cast that you were excited to learn you would be working with?
Well, here's the thing about doing video games. You're not working with the rest of the cast.
Okay.
I'm in a room by myself, and there's a team of people in another room outside of soundproof glass. So I'm not really working with anyone else, and most of the time, I don't even know who the rest of the cast is.
So you don't. So you don't meet any of them while you're recording?
No, the majority of the time, you don't get to meet other voice actors. Sometimes you run into them when you're walking out of the recording booth and they're going in, or vice versa, but most of the time you don't get to really hang out with people. And actually, a really cool experience that I've had recently, I just started doing conventions. I'm still relatively new to the convention circuit, and I've got to hang out with some other voice actors and actresses, and it's really cool. It's really cool. It's fun to sort of chat with people that have had similar experiences and really get to talk to them and you know, become friends with them. It's awesome because it doesn't typically happen.
We've had Christopher Corey Smith, who was the voice of the Emperor, with us before. If
Chris
your
Smith,
schedule permitted, would you be open with doing a call with him?
Oh yeah, Chris is awesome. Definitely someone I know.
All right, that's cool. We've also had Rachel Robinson, the voice of Fang, and Georgia, the voice of Anil. Would you be interested in doing like a Final Fantasy voice acting party?
Hey, that'd be awesome. I know Rachel. I've done a couple conventions with her now. She is just awesome. And I've never met Georgia, so it'd be kind of cool to chat with her.
Yeah, they're really good people. They're really cool.
Voice acting party. Woo!
Yeah. Who's supplying the drinks? No alcohol.
Yeah.
Well, no alcohol on my end. I don't know about you guys.
I'll drink for you. Rachel and I will have a drink for you.
Awesome. Would you ever consider cosplaying as Zidane?
That would be kind of interesting. I've thought about showing up at a convention in cosplay, but the cosplay that I've seen has been incredible. And I feel like I would show up wearing like a Halloween costume and I just wouldn't do the cosplay justice. I've run into a couple of Zidane cosplayers and I mean, it's amazing. Like, they look fantastic. So I don't know if I would be able to do Zidane justice.
Well, who would you cosplay as if you can cosplay as somebody?
I think it would be cool to cosplay as Rin Okumura. If you guys are familiar with the series Blue Exorcist.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I play Rin, who's the son of Satan, and he has this big tail and blue flames, and he's kind of wearing like a school outfit with a tie and has these gnarly shoes. I think that would be kind of cool. I saw some amazing Rino Kumara cosplayers at Anime Expo this last weekend, um, and I mean they look awesome.
You're at the
Get some
Anime Expo?
fangs also.
You're at the Anime Expo? Oh,
I was at Anime Expo at the convention center on Saturday, um, and I did a few panels. One was with the rest of the some of the cast of Blue Exorcist, and it was one of my favorite panels of all time. It was so much fun. I was sitting next to Johnny Bosch, who's just an awesome guy, and we had a good time. We had a really good time.
okay. Um, Actually, we're gonna go ahead and move into some Tales related questions.
Sure.
I know that you've played Asbel, and I know you mentioned before that you're all over the Tales games. Which Tales games have you played previously?
Actually, Tales of Grace's F is the only Tales game I've played.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and I know that I think I saw online that there's some more coming soon. Um, do you guys know the titles of those ones or the title of the next one coming out?
Well, there's
Um,
Tales of Xillia coming out in August,
Ah,
and
there
then
we go. Yeah.
yep, and then they already announced that Xillia 2 is gonna be coming out in the U.S. probably next year in the same around the same time.
Awesome. Yeah, I might have to scoop up Zillia. Looks pretty cool.
what was it like working on Tales of Grace's F? Had you known about the games before it made its release outside of Japan?
I didn't really know too much about the Tales series before I worked on Grace's F, and while I was working on it, I saw what the fan base was and how awesome these games are, and I really had an amazing time. I literally spent an entire summer recording Tales of Grace's F. I think I had 3,600 lines in the game.
Wow.
Um, and a lot of those were matching either timing or matching picture. Um, there's all these little quirky skits that go on, and it was a ton of fun. Um,
Who was your favorite character in the Grace's F?
I mean, gotta love Asbel. Um, but oh, what's her name? She's I haven't been able to play Grace's F for a little bit, so I'm forgetting the name. She's totally wacky. She's always like Pascal. There it is. She is awesome. So ridiculously funny.
Okay, well, you mentioned before that you don't really meet the voice actors or actresses that you work with.
Yeah.
But were you able to um, were you able to work alongside or meet up with like other prominent voice actors during your Tales um, during your work during the Tales project, like Laura Bailey, and how was it?
Well, actually, that's another game where it's just me in a booth talking to myself. Sometimes if they're in before me, I get to play off them, but most
Hmm.
of the time it's just me talking to myself and imagining how they would react and how they would, talk back. But I have met Laura Bailey before, and I have hung out with her before.
Okay.
Actually, funny story about Laura. I went paintballing with a number of voice actors, and Laura Bailey was there. And when you see her, you don't feel threatened by her, but when you see her across the field with a gun, she becomes very, very threatening. And Laura Bailey shot me in the face. She definitely shot me right in the
Wow.
face. Um, and she killed me multiple times during that day. I mean, she is ridiculous at paintball. So don't piss
Wow.
her off. She will shoot you in the face.
Yeah, paintball can hurt pretty bad. Um, okay. Well, what other? I mean, Is there anyone specifically that you would like to actually work with?
Um, I think there's a bunch of people I'd love to work with. You know, I feel fortunate because a lot of people that I have worked with, I really, you know, look up to, and I really think are fantastic actors. Um, so that actress that played Pascal, I believe that's Kate Higgins. Um, she is absolutely one of my favorites. She's so awesome and so funny. And there's actually one other instance where you get to work in the same room with actors, and that's doing group or walla work. And I've done some of that work with Kate Higgins, and she is so funny and so awesome to work with. Um, so I wouldn't mind, you know, working on more projects with her. Um, but yeah, I'm just happy to be working.
One second, guys. Did anybody in the chat have any questions while I set something up real quick? Solo, cover that for me for just
Okay,
a minute.
sure. Do you like the character Asbel?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great character. Um, you know, maybe he comes off a little wimpy sometimes and little whiny sometimes, but I really liked him, and playing him was awesome.
What did you think about his character development?
Well, it gets kind of crazy that you know, I don't want to spoil the game if
Right.
anyone's ever, you know, hasn't finished yet or hasn't gotten past the first game into that sort of secondary arc. But you know, he definitely gets more badass.
Well, without spoiling anything, in your personal opinion, did you think everything ended the way you personally wanted for Asbel?
Um, that's an interesting question. Um, I I don't know. I mean, I think all in all, it was a happy ending. Um, I mean, am I wrong there? I haven't finished the game, so my opinion may change as I get all the way to the end of the game. But I'm definitely I've talked to people about how long it takes, and I've gotten anywhere between 70 and 100 hours.
Oh yeah.
So I've definitely not dedicated 70 hours of gameplay. Um, but we'll we'll see. My answer may
Hello?
change as I get there.
Uh,
Hey.
can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Hello, hello.
All right, guys. We have with us Cherami Leigh. She's our surprise guest for this interview.
Hello, hello.
Cherami Leigh is the voicing Asuna for the Sword Art Online dub.
I am.
And Bryce is the one who is voicing Kirito.
Yay! Hi, Bryce.
So actually, real quick before we're actually going to talk about Sword Art Online real quick, but before that, I have a few questions for you, Cherami.
Okay.
Do you play video games at all?
I do occasionally play video games. I'm not very good at them. I certainly enjoy working on them. So that's kind of my way of getting to play video games without embarrassing myself in front of my male friends that are way better than me.
What kind of genres do you play? Do you enjoy like RPGs like Final Fantasy?
I actually haven't played a Final Fantasy. I think it scares me because I know that's like such an intense game and I would get like super addicted to it. I have a DS, so I play a lot of DS games, and I really enjoy Mario Party. It's a good group game, in my opinion, because occasionally I can win those, and so it like raises my self-esteem as a horrible gamer.
Okay. Um, Xander, I think you have a question.
Yeah, 1 second. Trying to set this up.
Okay. Well, I guess I have another question for you. You voiced Estelle in Tales of Vesperia, the first strike, the animated film.
I
Is that
did.
right? Yeah.
I did.
What about the Tales series? Have you played any of them?
I haven't gotten to play any of those. I've been trying to track them down. I was originally, I almost had one sent to me, and then somebody was like, well, actually, that was just the case, and it was like, I was like, okay, well, the case is great, but I would actually like to play the game. So that is something I would like to do, but I haven't gotten to track it down yet.
Okay.
Jeremy, what's up? This is Bryce. How you
Hi,
doing?
Bryce. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Hey, we might have to have a Tales party and play some Tales.
Okay, that would be awesome. Because at the moment I'm in the Chicago airport, so if it takes me a little while to like hear people, it's because there's a million people in this airport. I would seriously be down for that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You heading out to a convention?
Yeah, I'm heading to Anime Southeast in Seaverville, Tennessee.
Ooh, sounds fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No worries.
All right. Let's see, where are we at? Okay, so tell us about both of you guys. Tell us about the characters you're voicing in Sword Art Online.
You want to start it off, Cherami?
No, you go first because your character's introduced first.
Oh yeah, there we go. So my character's name is Kirito. He is a gamer who's very into virtual reality MMORPGs, and he's also a beta tester inside this world of Sword Art Online. He is the best gamer out there and just loves to play games. Yeah, he's a badass character.
They actually refer to him as a beater in that game.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yes, #1 beater.
Which he owns very proudly.
Yeah, puts those beta testers to shame.
And I play Asuna, who is the female. I would say she's probably the female badass equivalent to Kirito. She's also a gamer trapped in this virtual world, and as good of a player as Kirito is, I think she's a really good rival to him, and therefore they make a great team because they're both really strong in the game. She's very headstrong, very passionate, and she is a way better cook than him.
Oh yeah.
So,
I think she maxed out her cooking level.
Kind of like everything I am not. Like I'm not, and I'm not a great gamer. So this is like how I got to like live out my dream of being all of these super cool badass things that I can't be normally.
Hey, and I'm a terrible cook, so that's where I differ from you. How I related to my character.
Awesome. Well, good. Awesome.
This question is also for both of you. Did you go auditioning for Sword Art Online for your specific characters, or were you contacted for the opportunity?
I read for the part, and I know that a lot of auditions came in. I heard from the studio a lot of really good auditions came in, and I was fortunate enough to be chosen.
Yeah. They contacted me to audition for the role, as I think they contacted a ton of people. I know that the talent pool is really competitive, and I auditioned. I sent in my initial audition, and then they contacted me and had me come in and do a callback, which is not always the case for voiceover. So I went and did a callback, and I know there were a couple of really talented voice actresses that were there with me. So I really wanted to do the show, but I wasn't going to hold out hope because I knew how talented everybody was. And this is like the first big role that I've gotten to work on in Los Angeles since I've started moving back and forth. So I think for both of our roles, it was really competitive. I think it was just really competitive to even work on the show in general.
Yeah, I think there's just something about this show that's really, really awesome.
Yeah.
And a lot of actors wanted to be a part of it. And we were lucky enough to play the leads.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's becoming a
Super,
hit
super
pretty
fantastic.
fast.
Yes, this show sucked me in. I watched like the first 2 episodes, and then I honestly watched straight through to like episode 14.
That was actually my next question. Have you guys seen the show or read the manga?
I haven't read it.
I had the same experience. I started watching it in Japanese before I started recording in English, and I got sucked in. I, watched the first couple episodes and looked at the clock. I'm like, I can watch a couple more. And before I knew it, like, the sun was coming up. It's like, oh no, what have I done to myself?
You're gonna go into record and you sound like an old man who's had a very like rough life.
Why is Kirito so tired right now? Let's not have him be so tired.
No, I did the same thing, and when it got to, like, I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but for anybody that's seen the show, when it got to the part in the show where bad things happen to good people, I was, like, crushed, and I could not watch anymore. I was like, this is horrible. I, like, watched this straight through. I was sucked into this reality. I totally became a part of it. It doesn't help my mind that, I could be playing this character, and this horrible thing happened, and everybody was like, no, you got to go back and watch it. It gets better. It gets better. I was like, well, it better get better. I'm not going to watch it and be, like, traumatized a second time. I don't know if I can handle it.
Yeah, I think being sucked into the show was the case for a lot of people, especially me. I started watching episode 1. I was like, oh, that's cool. And it kind of left it at a cliffhanger, so I watched episode 2, then 3, then I watched it all the way to the last episode. Thankfully, I started watching it after every episode had came out, or I would have needed some help.
Yeah, gone crazy waiting.
Thankfully, in my case, I actually the show wasn't fully, all the episodes weren't out yet when I started watching. So when it got to a point where I was like, oh, there's no more episodes to watch. I'm gonna put this in the back burner because this is just gonna kill my sleep.
Yeah, no, it does. It obliterates sleep.
Okay, well, I actually have a question for Bryce. It's a good thing that you've already seen the whole show. As the person that's playing the lead role of Kirito, what do you think of the lead female protagonist, Asuna? Because I personally think she's great, but some people seem to prefer like Silica, the dragon tamer, or Liz, the blacksmith, over Asuna. So I wanted to see what your opinion was.
Well, I think this might stem to like which girl you think he should go with, or
Yeah.
because in the show, and just as a given, all girls love Kirito. Doesn't matter
That's
which
true.
girl it is, they're gonna fall in love with Kirito at some point.
It must be a rough life that you lead, Bryce.
So difficult. All these ladies.
All the women.
But I really like Asuna. I mean, I feel like she's a good counterbalance to Kirito. She's a strong character. And they really do have authentic love. I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, even though they're in this not real universe, inside a game, this is real to them. I mean, they truly fall in love, and he, a lot of the story is about that romance and about, their love and without giving away too many spoilers, I mean, they actually become a family and have a family together. So
it's the gamer notebook.
Yeah. I've actually seen that movie too, The Notebook. It's
I'm very impressed that you've seen that movie.
Yep,
I have
same
not
here.
seen The Notebook. I have avoided watching it.
It's a good movie. It's really sad though.
yeah. Okay, Cherami, outside of Asuna, are any of the other female characters such as Silica or Liz your favorite character?
It's so hard because when I watched the show and I knew that I was going to be playing her, I found myself being very protective of her relationship with Kirito. I'm like, she's in a coma. Like she can't even fight for her relationship. Like this is totally unfair. So I know I mean like I think the characters are great. I love all of the characters, but I can't say that there's another character that I think is. I mean, there's a couple of things that Asuna does that I'm like, oh, why did you have to be vulnerable? Why couldn't you have been like super badass? But that's just kind of how girls are, and I totally understand that. And there's moments in my life where I'm like, wow, Cherami, why did you have to say that, or why did you have to like be vulnerable like that? That's now you've like shown your hand. But I think that's what makes the characters so real and so relatable, and that's just kind of how it is. People, no relationship, everybody's super happy all the time. People get frustrated. People, everybody has different strengths and different weaknesses. And what I love about their relationship is that they fully embrace each other for their strengths and their weaknesses, and they complement each other really well. And the relationship is depicted as so real. Like you said, it's super authentic. And I think that's really rare for an anime. I mean, there were moments when we were recording where I was like, this is almost like a live action movie. Like if I didn't, I'm totally buying that this is actually what would happen, which is really fantastic for a story, especially in anime.
I think that's one of the appeals of the show is that it is quite possible that it can happen.
Yeah. I mean, that's a terrifying thing, and that's kind of a super cool thing.
Yeah, in the
Okay.
not too distant future, hopefully.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'd love to be immersed in the game that way.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Hopefully, if something like that happens, it'll happen to our kids, and we don't have to know about it. All right. Well,
Just show it to them. Warn them.
Yeah, warn them before they jump in.
Show them the show.
Yeah, exactly.
This one's for Bryce. What characteristic of Kirito do you think you best relate to?
Characteristic of Kirito I best relate to.
The obvious.
Yeah, sorry, all the ladies love me. That's it right there. Every girl I talk to falls in love with me.
I mean, you can barely see Bryce at a convention because of the like oceans and oceans of women.
If that's your answer, I'll go with it.
Well, I mean, I would also say, you know, his sort of passion. He has a real passion, almost obsession with gaming, and I have definitely experienced that similar passion with martial arts and with Muay Thai. All through middle school and high school, I was just a gym rat. I was training and you know, working on my martial arts, literally morning, go to school, back in the gym at night. So I guess I can relate to him in that way.
Okay. Well, what do you think is Kirito's best character trait?
Well, I mean, he's almost honest to a fault. I mean, he's sometimes doesn't really get what's going on, but that's kind of a good trait too. It makes him really likable. You know, he doesn't really catch on to things right away, but he'll, he'll tell it like it is. And he really, he grows to care about the people around him. He doesn't start the story as a real caring character. I mean, he's looking out for number one, but he really grows to care about other people and give everything to protect them and never fall into letting someone suffer because of him.
That's funny. One of our other members, Richard, was just talking about the characters you play, Zidane, Asbel, and now Kirito with all these ladies on them. Some kind of pattern going on here.
and
I told you, it's
Maso
Bryce's
Mikita
wife.
also. If you've seen the show Durarara, Maso Mikita likes to pick
Yeah.
up on the ladies. So hey,
I guess
I'm
you have the
happy with
voice.
it.
I don't
What's
know
up,
if you,
girls?
I don't know whether to say you have the voice or the personality or both.
Cherami, just like Bryce's question, have you been in situations where you could relate to Asuna?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, just I think being in a relationship and having to navigate your way through that, and she's such a strong character, and I think in her journey is she wants to be strong and she wants to kind of be separate and take care of herself, because being vulnerable and being in a relationship and being part of a team is a very fulfilling situation in some ways, but it's also a very terrifying, vulnerable situation, because now you care about that person and you have to not only look out for them in a battle but also yourself. So I think that's always something that's kind of frustrating, and trying to navigate, like, does he like me, does he not? I mean, that beginning part of the show is very relatable for me. I did not have a very successful dating life in high school, so I know that all too well. And I mean, I know I have been cast as a character that wields a sword many a time. And now I have my own katana. So maybe at some point I will be able to wield a sword, and I'll be able to relate to that, because that would be super cool.
Watch out, that's
Yeah.
Speaking of
dangerous.
katana, if nobody's seen The Sacred Blacksmith, you should go watch that now.
Yeah, Sacred Blacksmith and Shauna and Pazeno Stigma were also a redhead with a sword who's sassy and a little sensitive at times.
So just a warning to everyone out there, Cherami has a sword.
Cherami has a sword, and she doesn't know how to use it. I had it in my hand for 5 seconds, and I sliced my thumb. So I really need to get lessons. I mean, it's kind of like the Harry Potter Chronicles. I somehow am given this katana, so the sword chose me. I must do something with this. I feel like it's my destiny.
Nice. Okay, so what do you think is Asuna's best character trait?
I think her loyalty, and that she's just such a passionate person. I think I completely relate to that. I'm a very passionate person to the point that it can get me into trouble, just because I'm a very loyal person, and if I find a cause and I find something that I'm passionate about and excited about, I will fight for it to the death. So I feel like that's a very a good thing, and I'm kind of like that, like Bryce was saying, you get so passionate about something you kind of become obsessive, and I have been like that at times. I just love things so much.
Okay. I have one for Bryce. You also voiced Shugo of Dot Hack Legend of the Twilight. in your opinion, and it's not to say that one's better than the other, but do you enjoy the premise of the Dot Hack series more or Sword Art Online?
So I recorded Shugo quite a while ago.
Yeah.
I think I was about 16, 15. And yeah, it's a very similar premise, but I feel like The Legend of the Twilight is a much lighter take on what's going on. Sword Art is really intense. I mean, extremely intense. I mean, this series is just, it sucks you in, like we were saying before. So I really enjoyed Sword Art and love the show. Actually, at one of the conventions, the director and one of the producers of the Japanese version of Sword Art Online spoke on Dot Hack, and they just said, we recognize it existed and it exists, but we don't really look at that. So I get that it's a similar premise, but there are quite a few differences. But I gotta say, I love Sword Art Online.
Amen.
Sword Awesome Online.
Seriously, when you hashtagged that, I retweeted that all over the place. That's gonna be what when we do the live chat for the premiere of the show. I think we should just try to get a trending topic of Sword Awesome Online.
Sword Awesome Online, yeah, that's a good idea. If you guys didn't know, Sword Art Online is going to be on Toonami, and July 27th, I believe, is the premiere date, which is coming up soon.
It is so soon.
So it's going to be super exciting.
Yeah, I'm actually pre-ordering the Blu-rays. It's just going to be torture to watch it one week at a time.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's going to be the case for a lot of people, because it would definitely be torture to watch one episode at a time.
Yeah.
25 weeks.
Absolutely.
Especially since I don't have to read the
subtitles. We're just going to make you
subtitles.
addicted, that's all.
Yeah. You'll be believers in Sword Awesome Online very soon.
Yes. We're just going to change everything. Just change the title.
I think Xander has a question.
Okay, have you guys ever played an MMORPG?
I have not. I'm scared to.
I've watched friends get sucked into World of Warcraft and dedicate far too much time to it, and I'm very nervous that I would be one of those people if I started playing.
Well. Yes.
Yeah, I played Warcraft 3, so it was before it was totally MMORPG-ish, and StarCraft also definitely got sucked into those type of games. So I know I would be in trouble if I started playing.
Okay, if they ever made a VR MMORPG like Sword Art Online, how about that? Would you play that?
I sure would want to, but I would be scared. Because now that I've played this role, I would never be able to get it out of my head that what if I got trapped there and the guy who ran it was crazy and wanted to kill him die in the game. I would live my days in the game just terrified, sitting in a corner.
The game creator would just remove the logout feature just for you, just to spite you.
Just stress me out and be and then I would be a huge joke, look at that girl in the corner crying. She can't log out.
The creator would just be like, Cherami? Okay, log out, gone.
I would totally play, and my avatar would be a beautiful, beautiful girl.
That's
Oh,
hilarious.
yeah. If that mirror option were to show up, people would be terrified.
It'd just be me in a dress. Or a scantily clad Bryce
We
Papenbrook.
can, Bryce, we can make that. We can make that a reality at a convention. We'll just have you cosplay like a magical girl.
There we go, cosplaying women.
There it is.
That's actually the next question. Have you ever cosplayed, or will you ever consider cosplaying as Kirito or Asuna?
So I'll do Asuna, and you do Kirito.
Kirito, perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
For some reason, I was expecting that to be the answer.
I have never cosplayed before, but I would not be opposed to it. I'm just a perfectionist, so if I couldn't do like a great job and do everybody proud, I would just be embarrassed. So I haven't done it because I like to do things like perfect. But you know, hey, I seriously want to be Kirito. I think you'd make a great Asuna, Bryce.
Oh man.
Okay. Actually, I know, Bryce, you mentioned that normally you don't meet the people you record with, for video games at least. But in this case, with the anime, have both of you either ever met during recording sessions?
I think the first time we met was in passing.
It was in passing. Like I think your session was finishing and mine was just starting.
Yeah, and that's again for most voice actors, that's the norm. You kind of meet each other as one's coming in and the other is leaving.
Or at a convention.
But well, yeah, and that's what's awesome about these conventions is Cherami and I got to hang out when we did a convention together, and I believe we have a few conventions that we're both going to be at as well.
We do, which is perfect opportunity for us to do our cosplay.
Oh,
I'll be there.
Oh no.
I mean, okay, here's what we might do. Like, I would not be opposed to getting a shirt that said Team Kirito, and he could wear a shirt that says Team Asuna.
Oh, okay.
So
We'll
Bryce's
just
will be
make
pink, and
Well, the next question is not needed because you pretty much kind of already answered it. But I do have another question. Do you know that both of you actually voice acted in Trigun?
Yeah, I mean, I think I had a really, really small role in Trigun, but I didn't know you worked on Trigun.
I did actually. I'm Vash the Stampede as a kid, and I had no idea you were in Trigun. That is awesome.
Yeah.
which grows up to be a future womanizer.
Yeah.
Really? Right.
Wow.
So you guys knew from the Trigun days that that this would happen. It was destiny from day one.
There are worse things. There are worse things, Bryce.
Okay, do you guys have any funny moments or stories you can share with us from your
Funny.
voice acting careers?
Oh gosh. My whole career is like a funny story. I mean, I think when you're trapped in a booth recording for anywhere from like 2 to 6 hours, and everybody's looking for an excuse to be funny or crack a joke or leave a bomb for someone or something like that. So to pinpoint like one funny story and be like, this was the funniest thing that happened would be so hard. I did have a producer. They had this like giant mannequin that they named Manny, and he's dressed up to look like a gory zombie-esque thing, and they put it in the booth so that when I walked in one day, it was supposed to like scare me. And I mean, you would think it would, but I didn't see it. I had my back turned to it, and I saw other people come in, and then the director came in. He was like, "Baby Cherami, there's something behind you." That's my nickname at Funimation, is Baby Cherami. So I turned around, and my gut instinct was, I was so scared, I just went to like hug it. Because apparently when I'm terrified and I see something that's horrifying to me, then I want to hug it or tell it I love it to make it better. I don't know. I mean, that's a really irrational thing. But everybody in the studio was really frustrated because they were like, oh, Cherami's going to freak out, and everyone was mad at me. So that was a prank that backfired on them.
How about you, Bryce? You have any funny stories you can share with us?
It's really, I mean, like Cherami said, it's really hard to pinpoint like one particular moment, and a lot of things that are just ridiculous probably wouldn't be funny if you weren't there. Like
No,
if
that's
if
true.
I was if I was gonna try to tell like a story of a blooper where like I couldn't get back into character like because I was laughing so hard and like laughing to the point of crying, it wouldn't be as funny if I told it now, but in the moment, I mean, just ridiculous.
I think we get like punch drunk, honestly, sometimes.
Yeah,
Because I remember things to be hilarious, and I've tried to share like a couple bloopers that like Bryce has left or that I've left, and everybody just like they give us like a courtesy laugh, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it really was hilarious at the time, I promise.
hopefully they'll release some of the bloopers
Oh my
from
gosh,
SAO.
Oh, that'd be
Oh
awesome.
man, there's some ridiculous ones.
They're really good.
Would you both be willing to act out a scene from Sword Art Online as sort of a sneak peek if we can provide you with the script?
Yeah, sure. Like right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, I think I. Okay. Yes.
Are
I
you
think
gonna look like a crazy person in the airport?
I might actually. I might.
Okay, I think it's a pretty short scene, and I believe that Xander here is actually going to put the paste the script into the Skype.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Okay. Give me a second then.
There's gonna be like a 10-second delay.
Okay, so are you on your phone?
I am on my phone.
Okay. I'll just
Ooh, this is gonna be difficult, Cherami. Good luck.
It's gonna be really difficult. I think people already think I'm crazy.
Luckily, this won't make it onto one of the bloopers.
There will be no doubt about that.
The great thing about voice
I just hope
acting
my phone battery can
is
take it.
the great thing about voice acting is if you screw up and you sound terrible, they just hit delete and you do it again.
Yeah.
There's no pressure.
They'll look at you and say, "Really? That's
Yeah.
your pass?" And then just delete it and pretend it never happened, which is fantastic.
The director Alex is pretty funny about those things. He'll just look at
Yes.
you and just be like, "Nope, nope, do it again, and you will not get to move on to the next line until the last one is perfect."
Yes. Which is awesome.
Yeah, I really.
Because then I love working with
appreciate
Alex
that.
because he's so meticulous about putting the show together and making sure everything fits and it sounds great. You know that the product is going to be something that you're really, really proud
Okay, let me know
of.
if you guys can read that.
Holy smokes!
It's actually a short scene. It's-
Yeah, it's a pretty short scene. It's not very long at all.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be super hard.
Could you set the scene and tell us where we are and?
Okay, Kirito just found an S-class item, the rag-out rabbit, and he took it to the shop owner to see if he could, I think, sell it. Was it sell it?
To sell it, yeah.
And then he decided not to sell it when Asuna showed up and asked Asuna if she would cook it for him. So they go back to her place.
Oh, this is this scene. Okay, hold on. Let me see how far it goes. Because I have 3% on my battery, so I'm hoping it doesn't die.
Uh-oh. I'll just scream Asuna really loud if you get cut out.
Okay. Okay, cool. Perfect. Okay.
And it's funny trying to jump into character without getting a voice ref.
Yeah. And
No.
seeing the character for some reason really helps. I don't know why.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, we'll try. We'll see what happens. And if my phone dies, I'll try to charge it and get on as quick as I can, but I don't know if I can. All right. Are you ready?
Let's try this out. See what happens.
This is going to be the most like train wreck of a scene.
I know. Crash and burn. Here it comes.
How long do you plan to stay dressed like that?
Oh, right.
So this is the legendary S-Class ingredient? How do you want it cooked?
Chef's choice.
And she's done.
Oh, Asuna!
That was a short sneak peek.
Yep, short sneak peek.
And that's all.
Just like the show.
Well, actually, if she is able to get on back on again, real quick, do you remember your Asbel voice?
I believe Asbel sounds a little higher than Kirito. Do you have a line of Asbel's that you particularly like?
No, nothing particular.
I know there's one. I wish I had it written down. About him making a pact of friendship.
All right. Actually, I have a request from one of our members, Richard, who's also known as Payne. He would actually like if you can, in Asbel's voice, wish another member of ours, Cushy, a happy birthday because her birthday is coming up.
Sure. Cushy, right?
Yep, Cushy.
Happy birthday, Cushy. We should make a pact of friendship.
Awesome. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, so what do you want to do, Xander? You want
I just got a message on Skype. 1 second. Go ahead and ask some of the other questions
Okay.
real quick while I try to get
Sure.
Cherami back.
All right. Let's see here. Are there any specific roles you would like to audition for?
Well, there's lots of stuff I would love to audition for, and lots of things that are out that would be, incredible to be part of. I tend to like the goofy Nickelodeon shows like SpongeBob, and anything on South Park would be awesome also. I would love to be part of those kind of things.
Okay. In all the environments you've been in for recording, which is your favorite or most memorable?
Of all the environments, I can tell you, I remember one that's, definitely not my favorite. There's one studio, and the recording booth is literally like a safe with a little tiny hole of soundproof glass. And I'm not a huge guy, so I can't imagine what the larger voice actors feel like in that little safe of a room. It's just a TV on the wall, a microphone a couple inches from your face, and a chair, and that's it. Walls all around you. That's definitely memorable.
Okay. Let me see. Well, your parents also are accomplished voice actors, if I got my information correct, and that pretty much inspired you to get into the industry. Was there any particular works that kind of pushed that decision?
Well, the whole reason I got into voice acting was because of my dad. His name was Bob Papenbrook. He worked on Power Rangers. He was the skeleton dude named Rito Revolto. And I was about 7, 8 years old, and I used to go with him to work. So they had in the studio, as you're walking in, they had all the rubber monster suits from Power Rangers set up. So it used to be so awesome to go in and just see those suits and just watch him work because he was amazing. One day, I was sitting there, and the director said, "Hey, we need a kid's voice. Can we throw him in?" And my dad's like, "Oh yeah, he's a pro. Throw him in there." And I had, been watching my dad, so I just pretended I was him. I just copied what he was doing, and that was the start of my career.
Okay.
And I found it to be a lot of fun. I found the people in the industry to be ridiculously funny and awesome to be around. And, every time I have the opportunity to work, I'm just enjoying myself. And it's really a cool thing that I get to sort of carry on my dad's legacy. It's just awesome.
Okay.
Awesome that I can do that.
On that subject, now when you voiced Vasher Stampede, the younger version of him on Trigun, you were credited as Dick Smallberries Jr. And I actually remember seeing this in the credits myself. And then your dad. Hello?
You guys still there?
Yeah, went quiet for a moment there.
Yeah.
Did you hear the question?
Yeah, something about a Dick Smallberries. I don't know about that. That's really funny.
Yeah, because in Trigun you were actually credited as Dick Smallberries Jr.
Interesting.
And funnily enough, I specifically remember seeing that. I was thinking, what kind of name is that? And
I don't know, but whoever was named that, I feel sorry for. That is
Well,
a terrible name to be stuck with.
Yeah, and it was funny because I figured you would know because your dad actually has been credited as John Smallberries before.
John Smallberries.
Yeah, so I was wondering.
John Smallberries and Dick Smallberries Jr. Oh man, what are these things?
I was wondering whether you knew where that came from.
All I can say is that is a ridiculously funny name.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Are you still trying to get Cherami on, Xander?
Yeah.
Did you want
With no luck, so we're probably going to continue without her.
Okay. I was hoping that
we could let Bryce act out her scenes.
I could be Asuna and Kirito.
Yeah, be prepared for the Asuna cosplay, huh?
Oh, there we go.
Made you the
Ragu rabbit. Got my cooking level.
So Xander, did you want me to continue asking the questions, or you want to go back to alternate?
Be honest, I don't know where you left off.
Okay, well
Go ahead and ask the next one.
And also, guys, I don't want to rush you, but I have a 1:30.
Oh, that's actually fine. We're pretty close to done. But thanks for letting us know, and thanks for staying with us this long.
Oh yeah, it's been fun.
But okay, so my next question is, I see that you've had a 4th degree black belt in Tang Soo Do. I believe that's how you pronounce it, and you've also instructed kickboxing, and he's off, and he's back on.
Yo.
Hey. Okay. Welcome back. Let me ask again. So I noticed that you have a 4th degree black belt in Tang Soo Do, and you've also instructed kickboxing for 11 years. Is that right?
I think even longer than that. I've been a kickboxing instructor.
Oh wow! And
I started martial arts when I was 5 years old.
Wow.
It was my first, real passion and love, and to this day I still train as much as I can, and I still teach people and work with some professional fighters, professional MMA fighters, professional boxers, professional kickboxers. It's a great way, you know, to not only stay in shape, but to be creative as well. If if you look at, you know, a fight, a kickboxing fight from the outside, it just looks like two guys hitting each other.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's really a chess match, and there's really an art to it. And if you've never tried Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu, I would highly recommend it. But just be prepared for a gnarly workout.
Oh yeah. I've done some of those myself. I've been in a few matches, probably not like real matches like you have, because I see that you've competed in over 60 fights and you were former 3-time champion.
Yeah, I started fighting full contact when I was about 10 years old. I used to fight about once a month. And I did that for years and years. When I was about 15, I started fighting adults, and these are full contact fights.
Mm-hmm.
And I did really well. I came out without my face getting too bashed up. Still look all right. So I'm glad I learned how to move my head properly, keep my hands up.
Well, you trained under the Chuck Norris system, the Tang Soo Do. Were you inspired by Chuck Norris himself?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone grows up sort of watching Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris, and, I mean, cool guys.
Did you ever meet Chuck Norris?
I didn't. No, I haven't had that opportunity.
What do you think of the Chuck Norris jokes?
They're awesome. Do you have a good one?
Oh, well, there are plenty, such as Chuck Norris is the only person who can open a rotating door. Or under Chuck Norris's beard is just another fist. Things like that.
And you know what? They're all true. All those jokes are just truth.
All right.
All right, I got some questions for you to kind of wrap this up.
Cool.
We're running out of time. Are you familiar with Final Fantasy Type 0?
No, I've never played that game or seen that game. Is it out in the States?
No, it's not. It's in Japan right now, and right now we're currently fighting to have that game localized, and we'd love to have your support.
That's awesome, man. I love the passion that you guys have for the game, and for, you know, for the series, and the whole franchise. And yeah, I mean, I would say when people ask me, you know, is this going to come out, or what can we do to get, you know, something to come out? Like, I would like to see a season 2 of Sword Art Online come out.
Yeah, I would too.
People ask, like, what needs to happen? I mean, you just need to be positive and show your support and tell, you know, whoever the companies are that are making these games, you know, there is a demand for this, and we'd love to see it. You know, and I hope that you guys show enough support and it comes to the US and you know, everyone can enjoy it. I think, you know, these companies ultimately want to make the fans happy. You know, they want to give you what you want. I just don't know anything about what's going on with that particular game and anything, you know, about what the situation is. You know, voice actors are really kept in the dark. Sometimes I'll be working on a project and I don't even know what project I'm working on. There's code names. Sometimes you don't even see what your characters look like. So, I mean, it's definitely happened. One experience that I had, I worked on a game called Fire Emblem, which is an awesome game, and I played Henry. This dark mage, who's such a cool character. Yay, blood! You know, he's just like so dark, but so happy and excited. And when I was working on the game, it was under just a code name like that was not intelligible to any way, to anybody. So I never saw what the character looked like. I didn't know, when the game was going to be released or what I was even doing. I just show up and get directed to act a certain way and go through the lines, and I'm on my way. And the only reason I found out about that game was someone sent me a clip of the game and said, "Is this you?" And I listened to it, and I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's totally me. I don't even remember doing this. And I went back and checked my list of work. I keep track of everything I do. And I was just like, oh, this must have been this project. And I finally connected the dots, and I'm like, yay, I'm Henry from Fire Emblem. That's awesome.
That's an interesting perspective. Never would have thought about it like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, so that, that happens all the time. Not to mention NDAs, which really restrict, I think of those as you're getting let in on a secret, a surprise, and you cannot spoil the surprise for everyone. You're not allowed to spoil the surprise. We want to tell everybody the great news, and share with them, this project or whatever, project. So as a voice actor signing an NDA, I'm very restricted on what I can share and what I can talk about. And I'm sure you've run into that in the past with other actors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to talk about everything I'm doing and tweet about it as I'm recording it, but not allowed to.
Yeah.
Right.
Can't ruin the surprise.
Yep.
Yeah, they're all about their secrecy down there.
Well, and that makes it fun, when they're ready to share what's coming out and what they're doing. Like it's always exciting, and I think that excitement really builds buzz, which is super cool.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's all that we have time for today. Thank you for joining us, Bryce. And I wished Cherami could have stayed to the end, but
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you gonna do with these cell phones?
yeah.
Wish we could have properly wished her,
Yeah.
thanks, or properly thanked her before she left.
Well, everybody who's watching us, go like Bryce and Cherami's Facebook page.
Yeah, hit me up. It's facebook.com/actor Bryce Papenbrook. I also just joined the Twitterverse, so twitter.com/Bryce Papenbrook. Still pretty new to that, so you guys want to hit me up there. And for all the Instagram folks, just Bryce Papenbrook on Instagram also. I like to put up funny shots of my dogs.
I'm not even familiar with Twitter. Don't know how to use it.
Yeah, I mean that's how I was, and I was just getting pressure from people like, hey, you gotta join Twitter. It's so much fun. We do these live tweeting and all this stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah, I've just started doing it. It's pretty interesting. I'm getting the hang of it.
Yeah, I'm just starting to get the hang of it too.
All right, man. Well, thanks for joining us today. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys, and love to maybe do it again in the future. We can can finally play out some Kirito and Asuna scenes.
We'd also love to do some
both parts.
do some improv between you and Cherami as you as Zidane and possibly Cherami as Dagger from Final Fantasy IX.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about writing a script to see how it would be like if Asbil, Zidane, and Kirito met.
Just have them talking to each other?
Yeah, just have you basically talking to yourself, but sound like they're talking to each other.
My dogs are going to be sitting in here like, what the heck is going on? There's one person here and there's 3 different voices coming out. What is this?
Well, thank you very much for joining us. Also, if able to see, or probably not, but if she is able to view later, thanks to Cherami for joining us also.
Yes, thank you, Cherami.
Yeah, thanks, Cherami. She is awesome.
All right,
And-
then. Well,
The best
Yeah.
voice actress ever. All right,
right,
guys.
Well, thanks so much, guys. Cool meeting
Thank you.
you, cool hanging out, and hope we can do it again in the future.
oh yeah, definitely.
And yeah, if there's any questions you think of, just hit me up on Facebook. I love talking to people and hearing from people.
I will try to post the Facebook link on here, but
I got it
as far
already.
as I know, okay. As far as I know, the chat hasn't worked for the last half hour.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
people
does
have
that.
been private messaging me saying, "Oh, chat stopped working."
Well, awesome, guys. Thank you again. And
Thank you, Bryce, and you
have a good one.
great day.
You
And
too, man.
make your appointment at 1.
Will do. Later.
Later.